The regional delegate of public health in the northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon says there is no confirmed case of COVID-19 in the region as of now. He was speaking to the local press today after a communique issued yesterday confirmed the presence of a coronavirus case in the crisis-hit Anglophone region of the country. Cameroon is still moving up the ladder as the figures of COVID-19 confirmed and death cases continue rising in the country. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Bable Jonathan. In this edition of the news, we begin in the crisis-hit northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, where earlier a confirmed case of COVID-19 was reported in a communique of the governor of the northwest region, Adolphe Lele-African, confirmed by the regional delegate of public health. But earlier today, the regional delegate of public health gave other contradictory information concerning the suspected COVID-19 case, which he indicated that the person is not within the northwest region but is rather in Douala, thus indicating that there is no confirmed case of COVID-19 in that part of the country as of now. For me, Armstrong Sander has more.
The announced confirmation of a COVID-19 case in the northwest region of Cameroon on April 6, 2020 got most Cameroonians preoccupied, given the security context of the region and the circumstances through which the patient allegedly got into the northwest. The coronavirus pandemic is hitting at a time when the region is still buried in gun battles, violent gun attacks, road blockades, ghost towns, among several other features of the Anglophone crisis, seen as veritable obstacles to the effective local community health campaign against COVID-19. The most recent gun battle in the region reportedly left at least 5 persons dead on April 2, 2020 in a locality known as Vekovi. Ghost town features could still be seen in the city of Bamenda on Monday, April 6, 2020, and major stretches like the Ring Road linking the Boy Division to the Donga Mountain Division is still blocked. Some electric poles brought down during the crisis are yet to be raised for a steady electricity supply in the region. Observers say renowned health facilities like the Mbingo Baptist Hospital in the Boyo, the BBH in the Bui, the St. Elizabeth Catholic Hospital in the Bui, and some other public hospitals across the region are yet to fully recover from the effects of the armed conflict in order to effectively face COVID-19. Thus, a veritable and unique challenge to tackle coronavirus in the northwest region. The task ahead, observers say, is enormous, but the Northwest Regional Delegate of Public Health could not answer our calls to confirm, despite several attempts. In his recent publication, Dr. Che Kingsley So said the confirmed case in the region was a woman in Andek village in the Ngi subdivision of the Momo division. She, according to the delegate, came into Cameroon from Kenya, escaped quarantine in Douala, and headed to our village through the northwest regional chief town, Bamenda. Dr. Che Kingsley Su will later backpedal in an interview with a local media organ in Bamenda on April 7, 2020, saying they were misled.
We were informed yesterday by the delegate of the West region that there was a positive case who left Kenya, came into Cameroon, and the results came out positive, and when they got to that lady, the lady said she was in the northwest region. When I called that lady, the lady told me that she was somewhere in Momo division. So getting it from the lady, we were sure that there was a positive case in the region, and so we had to give that announcement so that people are sensitized and they know that they have to step up all the measures that have been prescribed in order to respond to this pandemic. So as we speak today, after calling the lady this morning, the lady now tells us she's in Douala, And really, we don't have any evidence that she came into the region, so we cannot say she's in the region. We are tempted to believe that she's in Douala, and she was not wanting to give us the real information about herself. And so, as of this point, we think we don't yet have any positive COVID-19 case.
With the Northwest region declared off the coronavirus pandemic, the regional fight against COVID-19 continues in the Southwest, the Littoral, the Center, the South, and the West regions of Cameroon.
Government authorities in the Northwest region are stepping up preventive measures against the coronavirus. They are putting in place all the necessary facilities to prevent the spread of coronavirus within the crisis-hit Anglophone region. Stella reports from Bamenda.
With 658 COVID-19 cases recorded in Cameroon as at the morning of April 2020, many are worried about possibilities of getting infected. In the Northwest, measures are being taken on many fronts to prevent an outbreak in the region.
This campaign is about making Bamenda cleaner and better. It's about bringing Bamenda to its originality and instituting into the people of this city the virtue of cleanliness.
The easiest way to prevent the coronavirus is by frequent washing of the hands with soap and running water. With aims at mobilizing against a possible outbreak, Mayor Tanjong Martin has taken water, soap and sanitizers closer to the population of Tuba.
My appeal is that the sons and daughters of Tuba subdivision should show all the small differences that we had and we're having in our communities, in our country, Cameroon, and that we should sing them down and fight, bring our hands together, fight this common enemy. Let's clean him off our land before we can start thinking of what to do in order to sort out what was our problems. Menchop Division shares long and porous land borders with the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where COVID-19 cases have been reported. Abdullahi Aliyu, Senior Divisional Officer for Menchim, has been on the field evaluating the implementation of government measures put in place to curb the spread. Measures everyone is called to strictly respect, as no one is immune to the coronavirus.
Council and government authorities working hands in glove to bar the way to the COVID-19 in the Northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. And as of now, Cameroon stands at 658 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 9 COVID-19 deaths. In the meantime, 17 persons earlier infected by the COVID-19 have been successfully treated in Cameroon. Yesterday, the Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manauda Malachi, gave updates on the COVID-19 pandemic in Cameroon in his daily press briefing. The figures may rise when he will speak to the press earlier today in his daily COVID-19 press briefing. Take a listen to what the Minister of Public Health of Cameroon, Dr. Manauda Malachi, said yesterday.
Media professional, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Cameroon response to coronavirus pandemic under the dynamic and permanent leadership of the President of the Republic has reached the end of the first operational phase. Since the notification of the first confirmed positive case of this pandemic, the phase has enabled us to test our response strategy and provide elements for the improvement at the challenge in the field of operations. Lessons learned during this period require us to anticipate and act effectively to deal with the pandemic in a relevant manner over and above the need for ongoing adaptation. Last week, I had the opportunity to outline the line of action of our revised response strategy to COVID-19 under the continuous and control of the Prime Minister, head of government. I would therefore like to point out that the active search of cases, particularly through the massive testing launched in Douala, has indeed begun and is producing results in terms of identifying cases and isolating them in order to protect everyone. As far as Yaoundé is concerned, our action has, first of all, made it possible to quickly identify positive cases among people confined in hotels when they return home from foreign countries, the vast majority of whom are in real epidemic situations. Furthermore, it is important to capitalize on the encouraging results already achieved so far by our system of tracing and actively searching for cases in our communities, and to consider strengthening the team and their means of actions. This will help in particular to ensure an early and efficient management for all infected persons. The latter will require better medical regulation of dedicated health facilities. Allow me also to remind you that from the point of view of coordination, our strategy sufficiently integrated the local level, notably the administrative authorities in collaboration with the regional and local authorities, to which communities who are able to facilitate the active search of cases, awareness raising, and hygiene. This involves mobilizing and gaining the support of all the stakeholders in our country in order to carry out this fight. In terms of training, priority remains to ongoing capacity building of health personnel who are on the front line in the fight against this pandemic. And
Cameroon's Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manauda Malachi, he was speaking to the press in his daily COVID-19 press briefing yesterday. Other updates will be given today concerning the coronavirus pandemic in Cameroon. The senior divisional officer of the Opankam division in the west region of Cameroon has reassured the population of Baku that an effective follow-up is being made by authorities in order to ensure that none of them contract the coronavirus. He was speaking after 4 persons tested positive for COVID-19 was found in that locality. Manjik and Gabriel reports.
The Women Training Center of Baku in the West region has been in the limelight for days now. This center hosted patients tested positive of the COVID-19 virus. Amongst them, 3 humanitarians from France and the head of the center, who have all been transferred to the Bafoussam Regional Hospital in an attempt to bring back hope on the faces of the population. The senior divisional officer of Haut-Nkam went down to Baku alongside a medical team to disinfect the center and other public places. The medical team also carried out tests on the people who have been in contact with the positive cases. The inhabitants are, however, worried about their health condition.
Tous les enfants jouent au football ici avec eux, tous les enfants du quartier, et ils entrent partout. Ici, on n'a pas de distinction d'enfants. On est obligé de rester avec les enfants à la maison, mais on ne sait pas si on va résister même une semaine, puisque rien n'est prévu.
In a move to stop the spread of this virus, the senior divisional officer has ordered for the closure of markets and bars alongside other public places in Baku and the West region.
And the Archbishop of the Yaoundé Metropolitan Archdiocese of the Roman Catholic Church has taken a series of measures which are being, the measures are being implemented in the congregations within the diocese or the different parishes of the diocese to bar the way to the COVID-19. The Mass has been tailored to meet the present situation with the coronavirus pandemic in the Republic of Cameroon. There are some articulations of the mass that are not being respected now because of the coronavirus pandemic. Immaculate Fogwe reports.
The Yaoundé Metropolitan Archdiocese is stepping up preventive measures to help combat the spread of the coronavirus pandemic.
We have decided to respect the recommendations of the public health coming from the government. It is very important for us to be faithful in this way. I want to insist on the fact that the best prayer is really a personal relation with God. Certainly, the community is very important in the church, and at that moment we are suffering of the lack of community.
His Lordship, Monsignor Barker, Archbishop of the Yaoundé Metropolitan Archdiocese, calls on Christians to make use of media organs during the Holy Week celebration.
It is possible now to pray with medias, and we welcome this practice and invite them to follow as much as possible the celebration in the TV, in all the medias that are available. We will receive 50 persons in the church as a symbolism of the community.
The washing of feet on Holy Thursday, the Station of Cross on Good Friday, and handshakes as a sign of sending and receiving peace amongst Christians have all been suspended. His Lordship, Monsignor Barker, cautioned Christians to stay back at home and meditate on the Word of God during this difficult moment.
And researchers around the world continue working. They are searching for the vaccine and the cure of COVID-19. There are over 40 vaccines that are being tested as of now. And of course, the researchers are looking for the miracle solution to the coronavirus pandemic. Details, Katsi News.
This is the virus the whole world is trying to defeat. SARS coronavirus 2 is the cause of COVID-19, the respiratory disease that has triggered the worst crisis since World War II. A vaccine is desperately needed, and scientists, politicians and businesses say they are doing everything possible to deliver it. The World Health Organization says there are over 40 potential vaccines. There are reportedly as many as 100 under development, although only a handful are being clinically tested. The first human trials started in the US at record speed 3 weeks ago. There are over 30 companies and academic institutions worldwide now trying different approaches to find the silver bullet to beat COVID-19. The latest and most innovative way of attacking coronavirus is with a vaccine that manipulates a part of the virus known as RNA. In Germany, the biopharmaceutical company CureVac is using this technology in a vaccine it believes will be ready for clinical tests in June.
We use the mRNA to instruct the body to produce its own vaccine. So we only give an information into the body. We don't give any elements of the virus, just an information, and the body then itself produces its own vaccine. So it's a totally new approach in medicine.
CureVac made the front pages when a German newspaper reported that President Donald Trump had offered the company $1 billion to secure the vaccine exclusively for the United States. This stirred controversy on how vaccines should be used and distributed. While the world awaits for a vaccine, hundreds of thousands of people who have already been infected need a cure that still doesn't exist.
A 33-year-old woman who hails from the west region of the Republic of Cameroon has been killed in an inter-ethnic clash in the central region of the country. The clash erupted between indigenes of the west, or from the west region of the country, and some inhabitants of Lobo, indigenes of Lobo subdivision in the central region. of the country. They said Ozom 1 villagers had last year destroyed a home belonging to the victim. Innocent as a report. Innocent Aze with that report on an inter-ethnic clash which occurred in the central region of Cameroon between some indigenes of the west region and some indigenes of the Lobo subdivision in the central region of the country, and the clash led to the death of a woman from the west region of the country. The 33-year-old woman was killed during that clash between indigenes of the west region and Lobo subdivision in the central region of the country. Innocent Aze.
They are inconsolable after discovery of the lifeless body of their loved one, Nes Maringba, 33 years old, in Ozom 1 of the villages in Lobo subdivision in Yaoundé Central region. According to family sources, she was killed in the night of Sunday, breaking Monday, by a group of individuals after dispute over destruction of the Njenge family residence about a year ago. Brother to the victim says, when the other camp destroyed the house, they lit fire and burnt pepper as if we were rats in a hole. They wanted to come out to be killed. Another family source, sister to the victim, explains how they were haunted by their enemies Sunday with deadly objects.
Et tous parmi les 50, plus de 50, avec des matériaux, des armes blanches, des lattes, pour en finir avec nous.
According to the victim's son, while they ran the violent attack, his mother, who was suffering from an injury on the leg and could not run, passed behind this house. She fell down but struggled to get back on her feet. Unfortunately, fell again. It was at this point that one of the armed individuals smashed and kicked her several times. I was down the main road watching. Another ended my mother's life with an axe.
Dans la grande route, c'est là celui qui était derrière Docteur sort la hache. Quand elle a perdu l'équilibre, on a mis la hache une fois sur la tête comme vous voyez là.
Equinox Television reported last year an emerging violence in this village.
Ce petit lieu commercial que nous sommes là.
We don't live in peace. Everywhere you are alerted. They have burgled shops. Women are beaten up and domestic animals looted.
Maison de gens, on a arrêté, on a mangé.
Today, homes and business premises are locked because the victims from the west region have deserted the village due to rising tension against them. On the part of the traditional heads of Ozom 1, the clash between both camps is not reported to him by the villagers.
De tous les deux camps.
On the part of the settlers from the west region, they do what they like to contain the other camp without consulting me, whereas where they come from, a chief is highly respected.
Au pays Bamileke, le chef est respecté à 200%.
On the scene, the mayor, divisional officer, and the Lobo Brigade's commander have taken measures to ensure the victim is buried. Meantime, several persons have been apprehended in connection to the deadly violence.
And this is where we end this edition of the news on Equinox Television. Thanks.
Equinox Télévision, au-delà de l'image, nous rendons compte.
If you suspect you may have a coronavirus infection, please call your healthcare provider in advance and let